wattage for days when the moon won't do. I'll shine in its place so you can find your way. Another light bulb at your face. I caught lightning in a mason jar, shining with the power of 1,000 stars. Lightning in a mason jar, see it from wherever you are. If you're lost high up in the mountain tops, I'll leave the light on, and I'll leave the light
Bull and the Bartender Show. I'm sorry, wrong show. Bulls Radio Lounge. The brand new show called the Social Reload Show. Season 1, Episode 1. This was a show that was sort of the brainchild of what is now Bulls Radio Lounge. So I want to introduce to you Matt the Savior of the Bulls Radio Lounge, and welcome to the two listeners that are on youtube.com when you search Bulls Radio Lounge. But he will be, as originally he was the co-host for this show, and he'll be the co-host and or host or whatever the hell you want to call him. He'll be the same thing with this. I mean, we're both hosts, if you will. But welcome to the show. Welcome to... I know it's been so long since we've done the Social Reload Show that I'm trying to remember the format of how we did it at the beginning. You know.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, I think it was a take on what's happening right now. How can we kind of poke fun at it and get people thinking about it and talking about it? If I remember correctly, I think that was our aim initially.
So it's a new concept of a show. And the artwork is done by E. Thank you, E, for doing the artwork at such quick notice. She put that together because Matt was supposed to have all this ready for me, and I don't know what happened with him. Maybe he got too high or too drunk or something like that. But it's like hey, look, I've got 9 o'clock and you've got 12 hours to get this shit to me, and it's like I got all this prepared. I'm scrambling like 9 o'clock. What's going on?
Yeah, here we are. But the show must go on, as they say.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have things set up better, in the future. This is, but I think that this is great.
This is the kickstart of what's to come.
Yeah.
Bunch of mockery and foolishness and whatever happened to that guy that used to be on the show.
It's funny. I was just talking about him with my buddy Todd. I don't really hear from him anymore, but when I do, it's always this really random phone call or text, and he's paranoid. He thinks that the government or somebody has, hacked his phone and watches everything he does. Him and his girlfriend are.
He actually has a girlfriend?
He's got a girlfriend now. Yeah.
Good Lord.
That she's just as crazy as him. Still doesn't want to get paintballs shot at her, or whatever, but they're crazy.
Yeah,
and so they're convinced. And I do the programming and stuff like that. So they really want me to write like a reverse hack program for them so that whoever's watching them can get bugged. And
no kidding. Wow.
It's always a really crazy conversation with that one.
Yeah, he looked like the guy from Roger Rabbit, the Doom guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to poke fun of the guy, but he looked like the Roger Rabbit guy. I mean, that's.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's just he's a little paranoid, a little out there.
Because I think he had an issue with like a stunt we were doing or a bid that we were doing.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was bringing up. Yeah. Something about, I think we wanted to shoot him with paintballs or something.
So he was like, flipped out. Like he had
I'm drawing the line there. And it's like, really? I shot paintballs at you the other day. Like, what are you talking about? But he was like, nope, not doing it.
I don't think he liked the whole paintball gimmick. I think he was just sort of,
whatever. Anything. Yeah. I was like, I'm all right. We're, we'll come up with something else. And I don't know that we ever did. He just kind of fell off at that point.
Because I think the show actually sort of fizzled out after he left. I think we attempted to do it a couple more times, but I think it just got a little too cumbersome.
I don't know. There's life gets in the way. There's always something happening, something, this almost though I don't have my stuff together, as far as like finding that audio that we used to have and all that. Because I just started another new job, so now I'm super busy driving out to Lakeland and stuff all the time, which takes up a lot of my time.
Uh-huh.
So here we are. But I mean, we'll make
You know.
we'll make it happen.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
make it happen.
we're going this way and that way, but we'll have it together one day.
One day, and you know me, like I get so crazy or whatever,
Yeah.
unreachable and stuff. I'm
Yeah, you're
cranky as
like
hell,
you're
so
like the president. You're sort of unreachable. I tried to do smoke signals and
yeah,
don't
for
hear from
real.
nobody. Then,
This guy,
see, here's the thing. I guess because of when I used to work on the top one radio show before, I get
right?
texts all the time, and I'd have to sort of answer those texts at a timely basis. So
Well, yeah, and
I was
I'm definitely a flake.
and so I'm sitting there, and I'm sort of got used to it because I was there for 4 years, and then I start texting other people that's part of the show, and I go, hey Matt, need this imagery. What's going on? This is like the day before, still nothing.
Nothing.
And I get, okay, well, it's 6 hours before we go live. What's going on?
He
Still
goes, "Are we still
goddamn
doing the show?"
nothing.
Yeah, man. 8:30 prep.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hey, dude, come on, let's get this going. And where's I'm like, great. So I had to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and
Yeah.
that cost me about $1,000 to get this imagery up here.
I put it on my tab.
So I'm like, fuck. All right. So I'm like, hey, can you please just sort of, do something real generic and simple and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, $1,000. I'm like, fuck. So
Oh, come on.
I had to whip out the old credit card. Here's $1,000. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Running this
I,
whole
and I really thought we still had that old. I know we have the audio clip somewhere,
right.
I really thought we had an old logo too.
I want to say on one of the hard drives I have, I think I may have it. I think. I'm not for sure. I have to look. I have to
Didn't we have a Gmail that we were storing a bunch of stuff in?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. Damn, I really think we did
That
though. And
was
maybe
like-
that's the answer. Maybe all these things are sitting in a Google Drive
Maybe.
collecting cosmic dust from the internet,
That
the
was-
interwebs.
Well, when we started this show, that was I want to say,
It was a long time ago, but
was it 2014, 2015?
probably.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, probably. It was a while ago.
It was
for
a
sure.
while
I was
ago.
still on my old Mac Mini, which was
Oh,
a
really?
2012 Mac Mini. So, and I got it a couple years old. So yeah, it was probably around 14,
Yeah,
15.
I don't think we ever touched base with that show again afterwards.
No, we there were always talks of bringing it back to life, and here we are again.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was always talks of it. This is the furthest of the talks
That
you know,
we've gotten so far.
that's gone. You know what I mean? We're back here. We're doing
Yeah,
the
we've-
thing. We're
we've-
live.
We've dabbled between, we're gonna do a show, and then we don't do a show. We do a show, and then we don't do a show. And then now
Right.
we're
I guess I feel like I guest spotted on your other show.
yeah, that was
Maybe
the
once
Tuesday
or
show.
twice.
Yeah. The Bulls Radio Lounge. I think you did
Right.
the main show too. When I was with the BRN.
Right.
I think you were on there. Were you live on that one?
Did I go live? I don't think I ever went
Were
live.
you? Or you
no.
just was it Colin Willie?
Oh, I did.
You came in the studio, didn't you?
Yeah.
okay.
I think I did.
That was a fun time. I enjoyed the working at the BRN.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
That was
never
really cool.
really
And
got.
I got to be their tech guy there for a minute. That was neat.
Oh, what'd you do? I can't remember.
I restored their computers and stuff
Oh,
like that because
that's
everything was
right.
all
Yeah.
crashing. And
That's right.
Um,
That's right. Oh, the
you know.
engineering computers.
I'm sorry.
The engineering computers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were all garbage. Remember? So I wiped
That's
them out
right.
and,
Yeah, you came in and looked at it because it was the one with the what was it? The Bubba 2, I think it was.
right.
The Bubba 2 machine. That was to be honest with you, as stressful as that job was, that was a fun 4 years of my career.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
bet.
really-
And I'm sure you learned a lot from it.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
definitely been gung ho about getting some kind of an independent radio presence.
Yeah.
Since,
Well, I
would
mean,
say.
I've always enjoyed doing radio. I've always enjoyed talking behind the microphone. I kind of find myself a little bit easier sort of bouncing off one person to another instead of doing like a solo show.
Mhm.
because that's coming too. I'm doing another show called Bull's Thoughts, and
Okay.
basically it's just me sort of like ranting and just sort of coming on the air for like, could be as little as 10 minutes, could be as long as like an hour, but
For
just
sure.
me sort of just, picking finding something else, like talking about, have something happen, today, or, during the day, or at work, or, something that
A
happened
little, a
on,
little what grinds my gears kind of a
yeah,
segment.
whatever, just sort of chit chatting about, people calling in or whatever, and just sort of talking about, what's going on in the world. Like last Tuesday, I think Belly and we talked about Trump, and because I think he came to Tampa Tuesday, right? Was it Tuesday?
I'm not sure.
I
Did
think
he
it was-
come? Are
Maybe
you
it
talking
was-
about Trump?
Yeah, I think maybe it was Thursday. One
I'm
of
not
those
sure,
days.
to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm really
he
not.
came. He came over where Raymond James was and had a big rally over there, and he had like 200 people or so at the rally. This big Trump rally. Would you go to that, by the way? Would you go to a Trump rally?
No,
No.
no.
Would
no.
you go to any
well,
presidential rally just to say you went?
And I think all this stuff has been really crazy. For the first time ever in my life, and I'm a grown man,
Of
but
course.
for the first time ever, I've registered to vote because of all
Really?
this nonsense.
No, I haven't registered. I don't care.
Really?
No, I don't care.
I-
None of these
so-
guys have done anything.
I'm not educated enough to vote, bro.
Really?
And I I don't know. I definitely have an opinion, but I feel like it's media driven.
Okay.
And I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to actually have a real opinion. I feel like there is definitely certain people out there that
Yeah.
should be voting. They should definitely get out there and
Yeah.
they should be voting based on their hard facts and knowledge of those facts. I
Mhm.
don't have that because I've never given a hoot. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I'll talk about it, and the old saying is, you sit there, and if you don't vote, then you don't really, get a choice or opinion or whatever,
That's always been my thought. Yeah.
and that's
You-
bullshit.
It's all for naught. Anyway, so I feel like
Yeah,
I'm voting for Trump.
you're voting for Trump.
And I was real against Trump when
Yeah.
Trump was originally running, and I'm still not gonna say that I'm for Trump, but I'm against Biden. I don't like him,
Biden's like
and I
9
feel
years
like
old.
it's media driven, and I don't know enough about him to actually say this.
Uh-huh.
But this is what it's caused. All this nonsense that they're doing. I don't like him.
You think Biden's sort of living that rock star mentality life?
Rock star.
Yeah, because if you ever look at some of his speeches and some of his rallies, and a lot of it, like for example, he was in Georgia the other day, and he couldn't even remember what part of where he wouldn't even remember what Georgia was.
Right.
And
Well, that's kind of my point too. I really don't want him as a president. He doesn't think for himself apparently, with the teleprompter
yeah,
accusations and stuff. And
Teleprompter,
his
what?
answers are real flaky. He won't answer any questions. He's like, that's for the people to figure out or whatever once I become
Oh.
president. And it's like, no, bro, no. We need to know what your plan is. So no, I don't want you to win. Because I don't think you have a plan. I think you're just waiting for somebody to tell you what the next step is.
well, he's probably going to be a tool if he's a president.
He already is a tool.
Yeah.
That boy is a tool, and that's definitely something you can say Trump is not.
No, see, here's
He's gonna speak for himself. He's gonna speak
Yeah.
his mind, even when that is not a popular decision, and that's something I can get behind. So I'm not for Trump, but I'm against
Right.
Biden, and I feel like voting for anybody other than one of these two is a waste of a vote because they don't even. I mean, it's like they don't even exist. I know that they're there,
right.
and that's just really to appease people. I feel like because they're just looking at the two primary parties. So you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
against Biden. Is all I can say.
Well, the thing is that when I was watching Trump on, because I don't. Here's the thing: I've never actually watched a debate. I've never actually watched a rally, on
Same.
TV, because I don't really care. But I wanted to see like what the whole antics was and see how if Trump was really sort of, being what people say he's been, because Billy talks a lot about Trump and how he hates Trump and how this and that and blah blah, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Everybody has their own opinion about the president. I don't care. But the thing with Trump is, I don't think Trump looks at the teleprompter any at all either, because when I was watching him, he sounded like he was sort of ad-libbing everything that he was saying. Like it was just rib after
Well,
rib
is this
after
recent?
rib.
Is this since those accusations?
Yeah, this is like the other day when
That's
he was
what I'm
here in
saying.
Tampa.
So now there might be trying to scramble and be like, okay, so just speak off the cuff, and that's why we're not getting any real answers anymore
What, from Trump or Biden?
from Biden.
No, I'm talking about Trump.
Oh, you're talking about Trump.
Yeah, Trump
of
was
course
the
Trump
one-
was ad libbing.
Yeah, Trump was like rib after rib after rib against
Yeah.
Biden. I mean, they just
Yeah, that's what he does.
know.
Trump loves that stuff, and
What-
and it showed when this whole Rona thing was first coming out. Excuse me. He was doing the press conference
Yeah.
or whatever every damn day on the camera, talking whatever, just talking this or that. But I mean, he loves that kind of stuff. He loves being in front of the
Well,
camera, and
'cause-
he loves talking
right.
and being,
because he's in marketing, and that's what you do.
I mean, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's
I mean,
like
he had the damn
PR.
television show, The Apprentice, and stuff.
Right.
Like
I mean,
this boy feeds off of it, and he knows that, like him or hate him,
he's at the top.
he's getting attention regardless.
Of course. Do you think that this was sort of the highlight of his career? Like, this is what he wanted to accomplish, was being the president?
So I recently came across some videos or some stuff about how he's kind of always been looked at for politics, or in the kind of in line with politics. And I wasn't even aware of that, but like from back in the 80s and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that,
remember
he's
that.
people were asking if he was going to run for something, be in some kind of office and stuff like that. And I had no clue that he was ever in line with politics like that. I thought he was just some businessman that
Yeah, he was really big. Like, I think he wanted to become president from day one.
I think so. I think so too. I think that
Yeah.
I think that I saw it as like when they came out and said that he was going to be president. I'm like, this is a goddamn joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it started looking like he was going to win, and I'm like, I cannot believe
Oh,
we're
I
about
was,
to vote.
to be honest with you, I was happy that he won. Not because of what he believed in or nothing like that, but because of Trump is not a political person per se that I've seen on the TV. I don't know him as an individual person. I've never met the guy, but
Right.
and that's, I think, most people are afraid of, is that they see Trump as this sort of like, oh my God, a non-political person doing all these crazy things. We're not used to this, so we have to figure out what's going on to get him out of office. And,
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I feel like he's done some great things, and I feel like again, not educated enough to talk about them, but I just feel like I feel like we're not.
not what?
I feel like we're not. I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
This is we're not governed by the FCC, so you're pretty much
No, I know, but I mean just for my own sake, because
Yeah.
I want to get it right. I don't think that we are worse off now.
uh
But you have to also take into account we are actually worse off now. But it's really because of this Rona situation,
yeah.
and we're trying to slingshot back into something, and we know it's too soon, but we can't survive much longer on these like meager ways and these jobs that don't exist anymore, because nobody can go to work and be around each other and whatever. Like it's hurting a lot, you know what I mean? And I
Right.
feel like for that we're hurting, and it hurts and it sucks, but you can't blame that on him.
Right.
It's just
Well,
happenstance. It
there-
just happened to happen now.
Well, they're blaming it on him because he's the president. That's all. it
Of
is.
course.
Just
But
like
what was he
when-
supposed to do?
Well, just like when 9/11 happened, they blamed it on Bush,
Right.
because
right.
it was his fault that the planes hit the the Twin Towers, and
Yeah, of course.
it's like, well, all right, well, the guy was never there, so how is it his fault? Just like with Trump, they're like blaming him for. To be honest with you, everything that the presidents get blamed for, there's no reason to blame them. They just, because they're president. That's the whole reason.
Yeah, I feel like people just need somebody to blame or point a finger at, and it's like to me it's silly. Like, I mean, just look at it, look at the facts. I mean, just look at it. Sometimes you got to look at it, and it's not that bad. And I feel like people individually are smart and they can see these things or whatever, but then they group up and they start acting like retards. And oh, sorry, that's not PC. They
Don't
start
say
acting
that.
stupid, and they're like, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
think
was
it's
looking for that dump
crazy.
button over
I
here.
think it's
So,
crazy what is going on with these riots and these
oh
and
yeah.
this whatever. Like I feel like people are people, and why can't we just be people? And what in the world is going on?
Well, the
But I
thing,
feel like we can't.
right? I think really the biggest problem is, and I'm going to say it, is the pussification of America. We're sitting there and we're treating kids to where they're and again, I don't care how you raise your kids. I don't care how you sit there
Right.
and do it, because I'm not going to judge you on how you raise your kids and stuff like that. Now if you're beating your kids or you're being a pedophile and all that other bullshit, then yeah, we got issues.
Right.
But the thing is that nowadays people are just raising their kids like they're their best friends, and they want to be so close to them. But when shit hits the fan, they're like, what's going on over there? I mean, so
You're not wrong. I think you're hitting it
Yeah.
on the head in a big way. Yeah, the hierarchy's breaking down, isn't it?
It
Like there's
is.
no
and
um
and that's the thing. It's like
there's
when
nowhere to turn.
no,
There's nowhere to look for like help or whatever because oh, this is my buddy. This isn't somebody that's like
right, and
able to handle these things or something. You know what I mean? And they say that that's even a big thing in the workplace and in colleges and stuff right
mhm.
now is that they're kind of always looking for the help. They're not trying to do the work themselves anymore, or trying to figure it out themselves,
because
or
it's too hard.
really even focus on something that they're passionate about or
Right.
anything anymore. They're just kind of like looking for who's going to help me do this kind of a thing.
And see,
Um,
I kind of feel like an old man when I sit there and suggest to these younger kids that don't want to pay attention or learn, right?
right.
And they go, yeah, when I was, doing this, I feel like I walked 4 miles in the snow and
Yeah.
stuff
No,
like
I
that.
did though. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like, come on, it's like, listen, I go to work every day and I do 20,000 steps a day, okay, 20,000 steps a day, and yeah, it's hard, it's physical. I used to sit there and lift furniture up 3 flights of stairs all day long. That was
Right.
rough. But the
Yeah.
thing is that the society that we're living in now, we're sort of how would you say, cupping the youth now to where it's like, you got cell phones, you got Facebook, I guarantee you, most kids nowadays, they can sit there and you give them an iPhone 45, and with Facebook, and they'll be able to figure it out with a number of minutes.
Minutes.
But if I
Yep.
get on there and I got a new goddamn phone, I'm just going, what the fuck am I going to do now? What's going to
Sure.
happen?
Sure.
And I'm still trying.
I think it just okay. How about this? You give them an iPhone, they can work it in minutes.
Yeah.
You tell them to go to school online.
Oh,
How many
damn.
how many fucking problems do you have to deal with throughout the day? They don't know how to use a goddamn website,
Well,
but they can figure out whatever
Yeah.
game and exploit all the
That's
bugs
true.
and whatever
Yeah,
or
they
work
could
their
reprogram
iPhone
a
or
whole
But it comes
computer.
to like basic like clicking on a website or something like that, and they're flabbergasted.
Yeah.
My kids, and I know mostly it's choice, isn't it? They're choosing to be lazy. I can't work this. I don't know how this. I can't get these things to
Figure
submit,
it out.
whatever. And it's like, we put them back into regular school, brother. we let that go for like a month.
Yeah.
They were not having it. They just, you know what I mean? And it was so easy.
Yeah.
It was so
it's-
easy
it
just
is
to have
easy.
and they could go to school in their underwear if they wanted to, essentially.
There
They
was.
had it made. Like, do you know
Yeah.
how much I wished for that to happen when I was a kid? They had that shit made, and then within a month, they just showed that they couldn't handle it. You know, what I mean?
I
They
think.
were not going to cut it.
Well, I
They
think
couldn't-
also
they couldn't
too.
motivate themselves enough
Yeah.
to do it. And we got people out here expecting kindergartners and first graders and second graders to do this kind of stuff, and you're crazy. You're crazy. Just I don't know, man. It's nuts, dude. This whole thing is
It is,
so crazy.
and I've said that from day one. There was when this whole COVID thing started, I was sort of like, this is, China has been doing the mask thing for a couple of years, and that's by their own accord because of their pollution
Yeah,
problem.
right.
But when it started going over here, it's like, great, now this is going to be an everyday thing, and everybody's getting tired of it. But at first, everybody was like, "Oh my God, you got to wear the mask, got to do this."
I
Gotta
feel
do
like
that.
people are getting used to it now.
Well, I
I
think,
feel like people are definitely not as upset about it anymore, and they're just doing it. They're just accepting it now. I see it when I'm going into a gas station or
Uh-huh.
something like that. they're not like forgetting it and rolling their eyes and going back to their car and stuff. Now they just got it on.
And that may be true. And also, I think some people are getting tired of it too. Because some of the people that I talk to, they're like, "Oh, this thing is horrible. I can't take
breathe.
this
It's
anymore."
too hot.
Yeah, it is. Like if you go to a theme park with your mask on, that's like almost 10 degrees hotter. So if it's like 90 degrees, it's like 110. And with that on, and then plus you're trying to get everything all together, make sure everybody's around, and you're sweating your ass off. You don't want to ride any water rides. Then you start to itch.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, it blew my mind when I saw people going to these theme parks in their face masks and stuff. I'm like, oh, no,
I did.
You guys are crazy. It's gonna be. We're in Florida, brother. It's already the devil's butt crack.
I
It's
was
hot and moist and nasty
moist.
with weird bugs that don't exist anywhere. But you're gonna go out and stand in a 2-hour line with a face mask on.
Oh, I'm not waiting
in,
a 2-hour line
in the sun.
No, forget that.
You're fucking
You're
stupid.
no, that's it. I'm not waiting a 2-hour line.
They're like, are we having fun yet?
No.
No, you're not. That 30-second ride
Yeah.
is worth that 2-hour wait in your mask.
Well, I have
crazy.
to say the new Harry Potter one at Universal is pretty much worth the wait. At first, but I wouldn't do it again. I only waited like an hour and a half.
That's not enjoyable to me. Enjoyable means you leave there like, man, I'm sad we got to go. Let's come back tomorrow.
Oh, well, it's kind of hard to do that when you have a thing planned for tomorrow. So, but no, we rode the Harry Potter ride, the new one, the Hagrid's one, and usually
I haven't seen it.
My limit is 30 minutes for waiting in rides. That's about it. My
I
ADD
agree.
and my OCD will not take, an hour and a half of, people asking me questions and, just waiting in the hot sun and, seeing everybody like go
None of this
crazy.
sounds fun to me.
So I think it was at the time where they're still doing the social distancing thing. So the line's like 10 hours longer.
Yeah.
And so, got up in there and it wasn't really that bad. It was like an hour and a half wait.
Good God.
But it wasn't really as bad. Listen, it's not as bad as when Harry Potter opened. That was 8 hours to wait in line and then 4 hours to ride the ride.
Did you do that?
No. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. I would listen. If I'm spending over $100 a ticket to go in the park, right? I am not waiting no goddamn 8 hours.
8 hours
for a ride.
Oh my God! I was gonna make fun of you so hard.
I don't care.
Don't do that.
No,
you crazy son
no,
of a bitch.
no. Trust
That's
me.
crazy.
Listen, I don't even like going to parks with a whole bunch of people there. All right.
Yeah,
Let alone
same, yeah.
standing
around with a whole bunch of other jamokes that are sweating up
Right.
their ass and eating fucking turkey legs. You're crazy as hell. I am not sitting there for 8
Got
hours a
their bacon
day.
grease dripping on
Yeah.
me.
Then they brush up against you with their sweat and their chicken leg grease all over the place. I'm sorry, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
don't touch me, goddammit.
Yeah, sorry, as they spit food out of
Yeah.
the mouth onto your face.
It's like,
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm like, fucking god, motherfucker.
Oh, it's just so delicious that they're not gonna let me take
Yeah.
it on the ride, so I gotta finish it.
God, it's
You
so
sick son of a
yeah, I don't
bitch.
like that. That bothers me so much. Like when I used to have
Yeah,
Disney
So
passes.
social distancing is kind of nice in this respect, right? Because you get 6 feet. Like, hey, get the hell away from me. buddy.
Well, it is, and again, I'm not Mr. Johnny flipping out about this whole this whole social. I don't care. This whole social distancing thing is nothing but a joke. Because all this crap that's going on, you know what I mean? All it is causing people so much anxiety and so much craziness
Yeah.
that
It's stressful. Isn't
that
it?
nobody knows what's going on, and then when they sit there and they go, "Oh, we have a cure," it sounds like what's the movie where the zombies are rising from the plant, the factory. They made like
Resident
three
Evil?
or four. Yeah, they made like 3 or 4 movies out of it.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's.
Or you could be talking about any number of zombie films, honestly.
Oh yeah, of
I mean,
course, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm not a. I've from day one, I have never been a believer in all of this. COVID, this all this stuff. I mean, yeah, it's there, and yes, people have died for it, and I apologize, and I'm sorry for that. But I think that we're.
I'm not trying to be insensitive of that.
I think that we're over we're working the work basically.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly right.
And
Sometimes you got to be devil's advocate to point at it and be like, look,
yeah,
guys,
I mean, come on,
it's
if
getting a little crazy.
the only time that I'd be concerned about this whole thing, really concerned, like, holy shit, we got to figure out something what to do, is if people were, and I know, Matt, you've been in medical school, I've been in medical school, and, we're not doctors, but we know something of that
Right.
sort.
Right.
But if people are defecating and leaking out of every orifice of their body, and
Yeah.
they're like type of thing, and they're walking around like they have no clue what's going on, right? Then that's an issue. That's a problem. I mean, of
That's
course,
a problem in a big way.
I mean, it happens
Get the
nowadays.
assault rifles out.
When you talk to some of these cats now, it's just like the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
listen, are you a zombie right now, or are you actually, living?
Well,
person?
right. Well, and see, that's the thing too. And now we're getting into flu season and allergy
Yeah.
season and stuff. And so it's gonna be like a witch hunt now. Everybody's you got COVID and you don't. You just got allergies.
Yeah.
You've had them your whole life or
I
whatever.
know at my
And
job.
it's so now we're gonna get into this witch hunt thing, and people are gonna be getting the flu and misdiagnosed that they got the Rona, and
the
it's
road.
like, I just can't, man. This thing is.
Oh.
They're like, we haven't even seen the worst of it, and they're priming it up for like when flu season hits.
I think
they're
we
gonna
have,
blaming
to be
it
honest
on
with
the
you.
Rona. I can already see it. And it's just going to cause all this pandemonium. And like, I mean, Mad Max Thunderdome style. That's our future.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna.
We're gonna be rebuilding cars to battle each other.
Yeah, I don't
Run
know,
across
man.
the desert.
I feel like people are gonna go fucking crazy.
Are we going
Especially
backwards?
this has gone on a year now, brother.
Yeah. Well, no, not really a year. It's been going on for 8 months, I think.
Well, I know. I'm saying it's going to have gone on for a year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it'd be like what, January, I think it was, when it first started.
Yeah, but they were blaming it on that flu strain that came through in November that wiped my ass out even, and I got a strong immune system. I rarely ever get
What
sick.
flu?
But this thing knocked me down. I probably got the Rona in November.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
And
everybody
worked
does.
through it,
Yeah.
and then here we are in March. Everybody's like, "Hold on, there's this virus out called the Rona that we were just now picking up on, and we should be careful of this fucking thing." You know what I mean?
Well, the
So,
thing that bugs me is when these hospitals overwork the work, and they sit there and they go. They've had stories where, like in New York, where people have died of natural causes, right? But they'll say, "Oh, it's because
And they've
of Corona,"
said it's the Rona, exactly.
and then they'll get a kickback off that.
Right.
Like one.
Right. Well, that, I mean, it helps people. It helps kind of the scare tactic of it all to get people thinking about it seriously. So
Right.
of course, win-win right there.
Yep. And then
So,
the
yeah,
daughter
of
that
course, and we already saw that, and we got so appalled to see that China was padding their cases too. Remember, we found out they were padding
Yeah, that's
cases and just
true,
calling
yeah.
things death by Rona when they weren't, and we got so appalled by it, and then to find out we were doing it too. Like, we don't know what's real, and that's what's causing all this stress
Chaos,
and all this
yeah.
chaos.
now
You
do
know,
you
we don't know who to believe. We don't know what to believe, and we don't know who to listen to. And we're just kind of hoping for the best out here. And so many people don't have their jobs right now because you can't go back to work right
True.
now.
Yep.
And that's it's just so crazy, man.
I think
Everything is so
people
crazy.
just need to.
And I feel like if we would have shut everything down, like shut it the fuck down, just shut it down. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but if we would have shut it down for a month
yeah, but you can't.
when
do
all
that.
this shit started.
But you can't
we
do
would've
that.
Gotten a handle of it at least. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have spiked it. It wouldn't have kept going.
To be honest with you, I think if you shut everything down, like officially shut everything down, it would destabilize the economy. And think of it this way. I suggest this, and it's just an opinion,
Right.
but I suggest that this is sort of like a litmus test to where, think of all the other things in the past that's happened to America. The 9/11, bombings, all the other bombings, all these little things, like the N1S1 flu, right? Swine flu.
Right. The swine
Right.
flu, right.
That was supposed to be horrible like the Black Plague, but it was just a cold. All these other flus. and
Some
symptoms.
people died from that too, though. But I mean, people died from the flu.
Yeah, but my
You know.
my point is that, if you think of sort of out of the box, right? This thing came out of nowhere, and I'm sure if this thing escaped out of a lab via a China person, I'm sure the person that did it is probably dead by now, and or probably his cohorts or her whoever are probably dead as well. But my point is that
But they do this.
I strongly think that this is sort of a litmus test to how people would react to something if it was a lot bigger. You know, this is something small in comparison, I think. But if something like what we just discussed earlier, to where zombies were coming out of the woodwork, right? We'd have to have something in place to fight all this. You know, because we've never dealt with something of this caliber. You know,
Right.
we've never, as a country, we've never dealt with, you know, people dying because of a virus, besides the Black Plague, which is back in the 1800s. You know,
Right.
which back then they didn't have the medical technology they have now. You know, so when people say, "Hey, look, you know, this is worse than the Black Plague," well, not really, because you have to think of the Black Plague was the medical technology back then. You know, people don't know what's going on. They think this is a witch hunt. You know,
Yeah.
but I think this is a litmus test. I think that's what it is with us in America. This is sort of a test to see what's going to happen if something bigger happens or a chemical attack happens. What would America do? What would America be like? How would they function? How would government function? You know,
But I mean, it's across the world.
well, of course, yeah. I mean, but it's just America alone. Like, you gotta think of it of just a small spot as America, because other countries, other parts of the world, they don't have the medical technology that, you know, America does, or Russia does, or whoever does. You know, with
Sure,
there's
sure.
these third world
It's all
countries.
different, is what you're
Right,
getting at. Yeah.
right.
They handle it
So,
differently.
You know, if you think about it, the litmus test kind of plays a big role in this, because now they have a baseline of if something else happens. There's a place in upstate New York, before we go to break, that all they deal with is just viruses, like one of the most deadliest viruses around, right? And they house in this facility.
Right.
So, and there's probably viruses that we don't even know about that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. So my point is that if something like that got out, right, then, you know, we would have to have something in place to sit there and actually deal with something like this. And that's what I think this corona thing's about, is that it's teaching us how to deal with something
with a heavy situation.
right,
like
with
this.
a potential heavy situation,
Yeah.
you know. But
I
again,
mean, it's not a bad theory. I like it.
yeah, well, I'm glad you do, because most people think that I'm nuts. You know?
Well, you are.
Yeah, that's true. All right, when we come back,
But
we're
that's a topic for a different day.
that is true. When we come back, we're going to talk about. I found this story where, and I was going to say for the Tuesday show, we could talk about this one too. That's a good thing about being the president of the channel.
There you go.
So I don't know if you know the guy who was co-founder of a very popular insignia that people have all over their vehicles, Salt Life. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Well, he got arrested in Florida, mind you, right? Involving a teen.
For what now?
Involving a teen. An 18-year-old.
Really?
Yeah, we'll go to that next.
All
It's
right.
the Social Reload Show with Matt and Bull. This is our sort of inaugural show, but we took off the dust from the old show. We're back on
little
Sundays.
Sweep the cobwebs.
That's right. So stay tuned. We'll get to that next. Don't go away. Bull in the Bar. I keep on saying Bull in the Bartender Show. So used to that. Bull's Radio Lounge. We're going to talk about that, and we might go a little bit of history of the whole radio thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Said he'd been swamped by calls this week and he could not shake his cold. And still this emptiness persists. Perhaps this is as good as it gets. When you've given up the drink and those nasty cigarettes. Now leave the party early, at least with no regrets. I watch the sun as it comes up, I watch it as it sets. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Oh my, it's a beautiful world. I like sleeping with Maureen. was one sexy girl.
wish I never let you go that far away. And I know this ain't forever love, but let's talk about today. Okay, the fan base gone, but our fam gone too. If it ain't nobody show 'em in the lab, where you? Baby, where you? If it ain't nobody show 'em in the lab, you know the studio couch all yours, right? And after that we can drop the top and take the night. Take the night. Then you see back
Bulls
like you take
Radio Lounge, the Social Reload Show. Welcome back on your November 1st, 2020. It's a brand new show, going to be happening every Sunday night at around 9 o'clock. So hopefully you'll join us. You'll join in the talk and the festivities. And you'll join in, all things that are sort of what we do on these shows. Just sort of talk about life, what's going on, what's happening, everything that just goes on with you guys. We want to hear from you as well. 813-419-3602. If you want to call into the show, that's the number. 813-419-3602 is the number. Want to thank Rick Danford. He had his premiere of his brand new show that came out for Halloween. If you missed it, you missed a lot, and you got to get over there to go see it. You got to go to YouTube. That's where a lot of things are going right now. So when you go to YouTube, right, look up Rick Danford, and then look up his videos that he has. Because under No Sleep Tonight, there's one where he talks about, I want to say it's Candy Cane Lane, I want to say. It was really good. I listened to it previously, and it was really groundbreaking. It was really sort of on the edge, the cuff, if you will. All that good jazz. Matt should be on the phone or on the line right now. Let me see what's going on with him.
Yeah, I'm here, but the
Okay.
music's playing. It's kind of hard to hear you
Oh, my bad.
on my end. Yeah,
Oh, my
it makes that thing I was talking about on the break. It makes
Yeah.
that even worse.
I don't know why. That's sort of weird because you guys you saying it. Mark said it. Who else said it? Belly said it. I don't know why it does that. But I mean, on the replay, it doesn't sound like it. Sounds very crystal clear.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I don't know. I'll have to investigate that out, do some more testing. Seems like always doing testing on this thing.
Yeah, always testing.
So, but yeah, Rick Danford had his No Sleep Tonight. I can't remember the name of his new thing. I've had him on the air a couple times, and I met him through Joel Wynkoop. You remember who that is?
No.
You know who Joel Wynkoop is? Joel D. Wynkoop?
Should I?
You've never met him? Out of all the years that you've known me, and I do filming and stuff like that, you've never. Wow.
I don't think so.
Oh wow. I thought you had met him before.
Huh.
No, Bad Candy House is the show written by Jeff Strand. It is narrated by Rick Danford himself. Check it out.
Yeah.
No Sleep Tonight horror radio show when you go to YouTube. So yeah, man, I can't believe you've never met Joel Wynkoop.
I don't think so. And if
Wow.
I have, then I apologize.
No, I mean it's
yeah,
good.
but I don't think so. It's not ringing a bell.
But yeah, so I met Rick Danford through him because they're both sort of marking out to each other when they see each other. Is this the guy you're talking about that just signed in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Is that what the email is for too?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Gotcha. All
Yep.
right.
All right.
So
I
now-
got, yeah, we got it.
So we're good.
Nice.
All right. All right. So yeah. So I just oh wow. Okay. There's a phone. Sorry. But yeah, Joel Wynkoop met Joel Wynkoop, and then sort of meeting all these independent, actors, directors, and stuff like that. Very nice people. There was one guy where we set up the local dance studio here, the West Tampa Dance Studio, right?
Right.
We set that up as a bar, turned it into a bar, and there was one guy that, because we were on lunch, and he goes, "I'm here for Joel D. Wynkoop, and I am." Can't remember the guy's name, but I am such and such. And I go, and you what? What do you want a cookie?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, you're
Why am I impressed?
yeah, you're waiting in the line, buddy. You can stay out here. And I lock the door.
Do you know who I am? No. Please get back in
I
the
don't
line.
give a fuck. You're still staying out there. But no, that a good bunch of people, good bunch of actors. Joel Wynkoop he's the king of B movies. Then Rick Danford has done many films, written, directed, produced, starred. I mean, this guy just, and what he does with the No Sleep Tonight, he'll email or send out, his script or his lines for the people, right? And then they come back and do their, send them back to him after they record them. You okay over there, bud?
My apologies.
Hitting that shot pretty hard, aren't you?
Yeah. That was an accident. That was a miscalculation of capacity versus volume.
Yeah. So be careful with that shot. That's pretty,
It'll get you.
It'll get you. Yeah. It'll hit you pretty hard. So
My apologies. Anyway,
Mark would make those shots like real hard, like double shot Willie.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, like he would do the herbal shot, right? And then he put a whiz axe shot on the top,
Nice.
right? And then a couple drops Willie,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, doing
With
it
some
up real
Kool-Aid
big.
on the
Can I
backside.
just say too, sir?
yeah.
You're sounding great right now.
Am I sounding great right now?
You're sounding great right now.
Oh,
On my
fantastic.
end, it's none of this craziness that I was talking about before. You're doing great.
Oh, fantastic! I'm glad I'm doing great. Yeah, I mean,
Now you ruined it.
okay. Put myself over and kick myself in the ass. So,
Damn it, man.
but
You had it for a minute.
I had it. I had it all good to go. So the guy, the co-founder of Salt Life, the thing that you see on people's trucks that has, that has a Salt Life thing written on it.
Salt Life, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I've never understood what the hell that meant. To be honest with you,
It's about fishing, isn't it? Supposed to be a fishing.
I don't
brand,
know. Is
think.
it a fishing thing?
I think so.
Okay, so
It's just a Florida thing, maybe. Just or, I really don't know.
so
To be honest, it's not my thing.
I
I will tell you that.
I don't have a Salt Life on my.
I don't have a Salt Life sticker
yeah,
on my truck.
No, I don't. I've seen.
I do
them.
have a truck.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna put no Salt Life on it. What the fuck do I care about that? So, Salt Life co-founder arrested after teen found dead in Florida hotel room.
Teen found dead.
Yeah, so it says.
What
One-
kind? Hold on. There's-
yes.
You've already raised so many questions. First of
Okay.
all, who is
Yes.
this teen? in
They
relation
didn't
to
say
this
in the.
man?
They didn't say. They just said Friday
They
after.
didn't say.
No, they didn't say who it was, but Friday after, an 18-year-old woman was found dead inside a South Florida hotel. It says Michael Troy Hudo, 54, was discovered by police in Jacksonville suffering a medical emergency. He was transported to a local hospital before taken to jail. Let's see. Co-founder of Salt Life, a popular Florida clothing brand, it's a clothing brand too.
Yeah, I guess. So.
I thought it was just
I
stickers.
assume it's just a brand, like you know what I
No.
mean.
Hasn't been with it. Well, I guess he hasn't been with the company since 2013. So I guess he was
Says
a former.
the company who quickly is dissolving every fucking relationship they have with this man.
Soleil, the police
You
department
know what I mean?
suspects.
Like
Yeah,
that just sounds like to me. Yeah, we have not talked to him in at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Right, guys? Delete
I have
everything.
no idea who this guy is. You know,
No idea.
he's like the guy from Area 51. You know,
Who?
the
Oh yeah, that guy. He co-founded your product. Oh yeah, that guy.
yeah, I have no idea who.
I don't remember that guy too much. I think he's been gone a while. You know.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, buddy, I have no idea who, but the reports
Yeah,
show that
all
he's
of a
worked
sudden
here.
His family is like turning their back. Like, well, but for real, what is the scandal?
I don't
then?
know,
You know what I
so-
mean? Is this some kind of a underage male prostitute situation that's now dead from drug use? Like,
Beach detectives headed to Jacksonville when they heard of Hudo's location. The police department suspects Hudo's of shooting and killing a Lake City teen after she was
shooting and killing.
Yeah, I mean I guess that would go hand in hand if you're shooting somebody.
Well, I mean, sometimes you're a bad shot, or
That's
you're
true.
going for their leg or something.
Lake City teen after she was found dead Thursday morning at a Riviera Beach hotel. And then, of course, he was taken to Duval County after the hospital. So I guess the guy was something with this 18-year-old. I don't know what, and I'm not saying this happened. I'm just sort of guessing at this point. But something happened between him and the 18-year-old. He shot the 18-year-old, apparently shot the 18-year-old dead, and was left the scene. I mean, at that point, I mean, what do you think? I mean, you just killed somebody. You know, what would be your first thought after that?
If I killed somebody, what would be my first thought?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be much different than this guy's. I'm pretty sure I'd fucking run somewhere
I
without
mean-
a thought in my mind. Just chaos in
Yeah.
my mind.
I mean,
I feel
because
like you just start driving. Unless you're like a serial killer that does that kind of thing all the time, you probably go home and have a orange slice. or
Jizz that
something
is off, you know,
watch
without-
some
yeah.
watch some soap operas.
well, what I'm saying is like you just killed
read your Bible.
right.
as
You
it were.
just killed an 18-year-old, right? Which is horrible to say the
Right.
least.
So if
because-
it was just a crime of passion, or like, all of a sudden, hey, give me my money, Brian, and he's
Yeah.
not willing to pay up or something, so he gets shot. I don't know, whatever the situation is. I
and then-
assume he ran because wouldn't you? Like, I got to get away from this. I don't know what the hell just happened, but I got to go.
because you're going away depending on where. I mean, he's in Florida, so there's there's no death penalty here in Florida, right?
Oh, I think I'm pretty sure we have the death. Yeah,
Do
we've
we?
got the death penalty.
But I mean,
I'm
so
gonna
he
look that
might
up.
even get death penalty or sent to prison for life. Like
I'm
you're
pretty
going
sure
to
we
jail
have
for life.
death.
You
Yeah.
know, that's it. I mean, you're 56 years old, and you're going to jail for life over something that probably, whatever it is that you were doing in the hotel room with an 18-year-old, but still, I mean, that's a life. That's an 18-year-old.
Yeah,
that's
since
gone.
1976, the state has executed 99 convicted murderers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the guy, the co-founder or former co-founder, I guess since he's been with them since 2013, killed the teen, and supposedly that's what they're saying. So there you go. That's a different.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, only a handful of things. I feel like would cause somebody to kill somebody. I mean, we could speculate all we want
Well, yeah. I
and,
mean,
and narrow this thing down really, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. And yeah, my immediate thought I feel like would be to run. If
I
I
probably
just
would
killed
too.
somebody,
I
I
would-
feel like I would run.
I would. Well, I guess I'd probably either run or I just sit in the front yard and just sort of like.
Yeah,
You
because
know.
I mean, you're gonna get caught too.
Yeah.
I feel like the logical, like the instinct would be get the hell away from this
Right.
and let's figure
Hide
this out.
somewhere.
But I would ultimately come to the conclusion I'm going to get caught. I'm not a fugitive. Like I'm
Right.
not set up to be this kind of a person.
No.
I'm not set up to be a person in prison, but here we are. So, you know what I mean? I would probably turn myself in eventually because I feel like just logically, like what is running going to do? It's just going
Right.
to make this way worse.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the most logical thing because I mean if you run, that's going to go against you. If you sit
it's
there,
going to be way worse.
yeah. And then you get out of the car, they've already got ready to go with their stun guns and their guns and stuff like that. So you know wherever you stop, right? They're going to put more charges on you, you know, as you run. You know what I mean?
You know, and then here we are. I'm sitting over here in my head thinking, like, but are you the crazy type of a person that goes and you're like, well, fuck it, I'm going out in a blaze of glory now. I've
What do
already
you mean,
done
like
this
suicide
thing.
by
I've pushed
cops?
it to the limit now. I don't want to sit in prison and wait for this death penalty and get, you know,
Yeah.
gang situations happening upon me or whatever the chances
Right.
are in this prison I'm going to be in. I'm going out in a blaze. I want the hail of bullets taking me down.
I mean,
Maybe you
that's
just go off and you do some crazy shit that, you know, once in a lifetime type stuff and just say, bring it on. Like go to 5 stars in GTA. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, if that's the choice you make, I mean, that's the choice
I
you
mean,
make.
that you could go balls to the wall crazy if you want,
Yeah.
I guess, at this point, Salt Life guy.
I mean,
You know,
that's that. Well, I mean, he's
I
in
don't-
jail now, so I mean,
is he
that's-
still on the run or did they catch
No,
him?
they already caught him. They have a picture of bringing him
okay.
into the jail.
All right,
But
well then,
yeah.
yeah, you're done. You're
Uh,
done. You could have gone GTA 5-star style.
And plus,
Well-
the way the cops are, you know, their situation now, you know, it's hard.
Hold on, I have to be clear right now because
Okay.
I just thought about how this might. What I just said, I'm not advocating violence.
No, no,
I'm not saying that
This
guy's
is
just
just
out
this
there
is just
killing a
in
bunch
like
of people.
hyperbole,
I'm
like
just saying. I'm just being
you
devil's
know,
advocate and saying that this
yeah.
is another thing that could have resulted, or that he could have chose to do. I guess, you know, there's the go run and just stay on the run and be crazy,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. Just try not to get caught. And then there's the go on the run for a minute, figure out that you're just not the type, and go turn yourself in. Or there's option C, which is go batshit crazy. That's
Right,
all I was
right.
saying.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just-
yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
I was just prosing the options, not.
Well, yeah,
saying
because
that,
I mean, it's trust
one
me.
is better than the other.
Yeah, this series of events that happened with this person and the teenager, you know, rest in
Yeah,
peace.
I want more to that
You know.
story though. I'm not satisfied with.
Well,
we
that's
don't know
what
who
they
this
gave
boy
me, you
was
know,
or what was
you know.
going on there,
But
and we may never know. And we might always get some weird fabricated story of it that his lawyers are like, look, this is the best approach. Let's just say this is the case and
yeah,
let's move on with our lives. You know, self-defense is probably what's going to come up. And then he ran because, you know, who wouldn't, because it's
Right.
scary and it's holy shit.
but
yeah.
what? Yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
I try to look up some more.
I can definitely see that being the defense
Yeah.
and see what happens with
I
that.
tried to look up some more about that story, but they just had the same article, you know.
Yeah.
So it's nothing's changed, I guess, unless they got to do investigation, but still horrible situation. All right, so I was trying to look for a couple of different stories while we were talking, but a lot of them have to do with, like, one of them said that girl killed in Pinellas County boat crash, 16 years old, driver arrested. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the media just sort of like everything you see nowadays is just political, and you know,
Well, I mean, that's
deaths
where we're
and
at right
shootings
now, too.
and stuff like
It
that.
is literally voting time. And this is a big election because we've got Dingbat versus Dingbat in the ultimate Dingbat Smackdown.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
What do you think about those Trump supporters that ride their cars around with the flags waving around the stadium and stuff like that? I've seen that.
I think anybody that's super boisterous about
Yeah.
something that's supposed to be, you know, they say it's secret and stuff like that, and there's a purpose for that. It's and I don't know. I feel like showboating of any kind is really stupid. Narcissism at its best. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, just hey, look at me.
So do you
Yeah,
think they're
I
trying
guess
to
that's all I can
pull?
say about it.
pull
It
attention?
seems like it just seems like the typical behavior you expect out of.
Out
I
of
can't.
weird,
I don't
strange-
want. I don't.
come
want,
on, let's go. Let's say it. Let's hear it.
I can't, dude.
Let's hear it.
I can't. It's too.
No, come on. This is a show where you can say whatever it is you want.
I'm just saying, I think it's
813-419-3602
boisterous, and I think it's bad
30.
taste.
if you want to call in and voice your opinion about what Matt is spewing out here, what he's trying to spew out.
I think it's bad taste. And again, I feel like my vote is for Trump, but I don't know that it's for Trump. I think it's just against Biden.
All right. Well,
And again, I feel like it's misguided because I don't know that I'm educated enough to say that. I feel like it's media driven, and all this nonsense on the left. And I'm not saying it's nonsense because I definitely agree with people should have rights and whatever. Or not in whatever. Oh my God! See, and this is the problem. You get it if you get into a political thing, you can't be like and whatever because then the whatevers are like, what do you mean whatever? And I'm like, what do you mean whatever? I'm trying to just get through a sentence, you asshole. Like,
well, listen. Some of the shows that I've seen where they talk about all this craziness goes on, it's in their own opinion. So you'll be good to go.
no, I know. I'm just, but see that my sentence right there is kind of my statement too, wrapped in itself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the sensitivity that we found ourselves in is
The
too
pussification of
much.
America. Is that what you're talking about?
Say again now.
The pussification of America.
Yeah, it's just crazy. What are we doing?
I'll say it. It's the pussification of America. It's, everybody's
What are
gotten
we
gotten
doing?
soft.
We
Everybody's.
we used to be great.
Do you remember back in, I don't know, back in your high school, but I know in mine, I remember there used to be like cliques, right? You'd have, the
Oh,
skater
of course.
guys,
Every high school's got
you
that.
know,
Every
then-
school has that. Every workplace
Right.
has that.
and then you have the guys. Well, back in the day, like in the '90s, right? You had these people, these group of people who were the what are those chaos people, like the government's
Like
gonna
the goth.
be goth people, where they're sort of like anarchy will reign, and and we're all
Oh, and the punks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Sure, yeah. This whole
Alright,
like
so-
underbelly kind of
right. And you didn't really
region.
pay too much attention to them because you kind of, felt kind of bad for them, and it's sort of like because they're kind
I
of
never
nuts.
felt bad for him. No, I actually I found that clique appealing.
Did you?
I found myself moving through the cliques in high school. Like I was kind of a
I was
chameleon.
never a part of a
diplomat
clique, to
sorts.
be
I would
honest
just
with
kind of
you.
go around,
Yeah.
and I was accepted in all of them.
Right. I mean, I don't. To be honest with you, I didn't care to be in a clique. I didn't want to be in a clique. I don't care if you liked me or not. Whatever. I need to get through high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I had friends and stuff like that, but I didn't consider myself in a particular clique at all. But what my point was, they were always trying to say that the government will take over and blah 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 blah. And now, fast forward to 2020, and we've got COVID, we've
Sure.
got massive forest fires,
Sure.
we've got people rioting in the streets for either side.
I feel like the Christians are loving this. They're like, we told you the world was gonna end.
What?
All these paranoid what do they call them, doomsday preppers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They're like these sons of bitches didn't want to listen, and here we are, the end of times and stuff. And I don't know if it's quite that extreme. I think that
It is. They're
it
like,
definitely offers up
oh,
a chance
yes,
for us to kind of test our merit and see what's going to succeed. There's going to be it's going to spawn a whole prism of things that we can't even fathom yet. And we can too at the same time. Look at these self-driving cars that are already like delivering pizza and stuff over in California. Like this is not a coincidence. I feel like they're trying to
Is this a conspiracy
jumpstart
theory?
us into this new digital age that was going to be a shock to the system. And so let's take this opportunity right now, if not create the opportunity with this virus that was released, create
COVID.
this opportunity to kind of get everybody at home, get them used to this digital kind of future,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everything is going to be computer driven, and kind of stay at home and order things and have them delivered to you, and you're going to work from home, and they're going to, I feel like we're going to have to develop this new type of money system that's going to be kind of a worldwide currency. At least these,
wasn't the
these United
Bitcoin-
Nations and stuff that are all working together. Like, I feel like all that stuff is they're trying to jumpstart that. They're like, let's get this digital age started.
Wasn't the Bitcoin sort of
Instead,
like that?
instead of like the slow roll, they're like, let's
Yeah.
jumpstart it. Let's get it going. Let's put the kids in school online. Let's get everybody shopping online, and delivery systems with their food and their groceries and their whatevers. You can order alcohol. There's an app for that where you can just be like, I want, my local liquor store to deliver these bottles to my house tonight for a party or whatever, and they'll do
Right.
that. It's I feel like it's the future, and people have to accept it. I feel like this is them forcing everybody to get on it, and those that can't adapt are going to die out, just through
Natural
they
selection.
can't hack it. Yeah, they can't hack it.
I mean, that you said exactly what I said earlier. You hit it right on the head. Like I said, because like I said, this is, to me, I think this is a litmus test of what's
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
going on.
I'm expanding
because,
on that exactly.
Yeah, because it's when it first like my other job, right? I was dealing with 100 people at a time at any given moment, right? And at that time there was no mask, that you had to wear. You know what I mean?
Right. Of course.
So now halfway through it, everybody has to wear a mask, even employees and stuff like that. And so it's like, all right, well, if I didn't get COVID, right, back then I don't think that I'm gonna go. I may have already had it, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the asymptomatic carriers.
Yeah.
They've gotten it at some point, and their body was just able to be like, no, it's fine. We'll fight it off like a cold.
And if it was, then I probably already had it, didn't even realize I had it, and
Yeah.
there you
Exactly.
go. But no, that's what I think. The whole thing is a litmus test, and that was a very good point that you made. So it's I don't know. It's very questionable. It's not a bad conspiracy. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Do you call it a conspiracy? I mean, is it, or just sort of one person's opinion?
Well, you have to. I feel like you have to kind of call it a conspiracy because we don't know all the variables, and we're kind of taking stabs at like, well, this could be the case, and this could be the case, and it could be man caused, and it could be nature caused, and they're just taking advantage of it.
Uh-huh.
There's too many of these ifs, so you can't definitively say anything. So you have to say it's a conspiracy theory in my mind.
Yeah.
In one way or another, like and it feels crazy because I'm not a conspiracist, but it feels like there's a bigger thing happening here that's not what's immediately being looked at.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like distraction, but really there's this other thing happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And what, I don't know. I'm not privileged to that information. I don't know the right people. I'm not in those circles, but it just feels, you know what I mean? It just feels that way. It feels
Right.
like this is crazy. This is something that's gone on for it will have gone on for a year. I guarantee it.
You think it'll be done in 2021?
I mean that I can't even imagine. Like I can't have imagined that it's lasted a year, or that it will have lasted a year, and come January.
And it's all started with a brush fire in Australia. Remember, in the beginning part of 2020?
And this is why, yeah, the theists and stuff like that
Yeah,
are
where
gonna
all the
love it, or
animals were-
the conspiracy theorists of the doomsday.
I'm
or
sure
whatever, they're
they-
gonna love this kind of stuff because
I'm sure all the
we got crazy forest fires, we got tsunamis, we got this deadly virus that's consuming the world.
So what would we do if there was a zombie-like situation, and everybody was turning into zombies? Like what's going to happen? Or is it going to be like one of those? What is the movie with Will Smith?
Yeah,
the
is it one?
I can't think of the name. Wasn't a good movie, to be honest with you. But is it going to be like that to
It's
where
like
all the
I Legend or something.
I
right?
Legend, yeah. But something like that to where all the buildings are going to be vacant, all the towers, and there's going to be nothing around, no power, nothing but weeds growing up in the roads. Is that what we're heading to?
Yeah, I that could definitely be a future. That's one possibility. I mean, we but the other possibility is too we come out of this and we prosper, and ideally that's the scenario.
I'm hoping for that scenario.
Yeah. As far as like a zombie thing goes, I mean, there's still going to be a populace that's not zombie, and those that are zombie would be killed, I assume. And like every movie that you've seen, people are shooting them and
Would you
double tapping them and whatever.
Let me ask you this question. All right.
What's up? Yeah.
So you got your buddy over there, right, next to you, right?
Yeah.
And he's sort of chilling out, right, doing whatever.
Yeah, playing on his phone and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
So if your buddy over there turned into a zombie, right?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All day. immediately grab my gun and shoot him.
Would you kill him, or would you sit there and put him in a shed with a little chain on him and sort of play PlayStation back
Now,
there?
yeah, I feel like that's the scenario. You knock out the knee or something and hope he can survive. I don't know that I'm going to be getting you humans to eat on. I mean, I can think of a couple.
So
I
what
wouldn't
you're
mind,
saying is
you know?
you're telling your,
but
you're telling your buddy that you would either probably one shoot him, or two you would probably like shoot him. in
I'd
the
have
leg.
to shoot him.
You have to shoot him.
I have to shoot him. But I would try to aim for the knee.
Okay.
If he was diving at me real aggressive though, I mean, I can't be held responsible if he gets shot in the face. I mean, you know, if you're coming at me real aggressive, bud. But yeah, ideally I'd shoot him in the foot or the knee, render him not able to jump at me, hope for a cure, chain you up. Yeah, probably in the shed. We'll hook up the Xbox or something. Hopefully you have some brain function left and we can get a good game of
What would
Target Woods out or
your
something,
first
and then,
reaction be?
You know, hope for a cure.
What would your first reaction be when you saw him in this state?
I'd hit him. I'd push him because he's too close. If he starts foaming at the mouth or something, he's too close. I got to shove him. You know, it's like a strange baby, down and away. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with that.
It's like-
Stop trying to hand me your baby, down and away.
It's like, back up, bro.
But
Yeah, all right. So you brush him off. and-
you knock him out of the way because then I got to run over there to get the gun. Which would immediately be my strategy. I would try to put things in between he and I.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm gonna speak with proper English. He and I would try to like throw things and like duck and weave or something, you know, while I'm getting to the gun. I get to the gun and I would be like, "Pop,
Yeah.
yo, bro, you okay?" I would shoot first, then ask the question.
Like he's gonna answer you, you know, like, yeah, I'm cool, you know.
Everything all right, bro? What are you doing?
Yeah. You know.
What are you doing? Why are you coming at me?
Man, I
like
can't
this?
believe
This
that,
would-
boy.
This would probably. I'd be like, you see what you made me do? I'd start.
Yeah.
I might shed a tear for him. I might feel bad that I had to shoot him in the leg.
Would
And
you
then I'd
feel
have to
really
try to
bad?
Figure
I
out
mean,
a way to drag him.
yeah.
It says shed, so I could chain him up with the Xbox without him trying to bite my arm. You know, and you know, these are just the things. So you know, a day in the life of having a zombie as a friend.
There you go. So you'd shoot the zombie and shoot your friend.
You
and-
shoot him in the leg,
Yeah.
and you stabilize the situation.
I'll be honest with you. If you turned into a zombie, right?
Yeah.
I'd shoot you in the head.
Oh, come on, man. We've been through so much. I've known you for so long.
Hey, you know, at that point, you're not even mad anymore. You're just a.
I know. And see,
You
that's
know.
the thing. That's why, I mean, I can't be held
I
responsible.
got
if you
things
do get shot in the
responsible.
face. But I feel like a burlap sack over the head, you know,
Yeah.
during transportation is really going to save a lot of time and are you going to bite me scenario.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
we don't-
true.
We don't have to deal with this problem.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's
I think we could get
that
by. I
would-
think we could just shoot somebody in the leg and
Yeah.
and hope for the best. Wait for
that'd
this
be
cure.
sort of a hard scenario because to actually choose, like, in all seriousness, if you turn into a zombie, I'd be like, sort of, man, what do I do? Should I shoot him? Do I not shoot him? Do I?
What?
you
But
know.
what if you could just get me like raw steak or raw hamburger or whatever, and just throw chunks of raw hamburger at me, and I'm like, yum yum yum, and we find a cure, and then you can get me cured. I mean, you kept me alive. I didn't have to eat people. We got to play
Yeah.
some Xbox or something.
Don't
and,
eat my
and
dog,
maybe you could
though.
have me on the radio show and just be gurgling or something.
Yeah.
And
If you
you
eat my
know,
dog, then I'm gonna shoot you though. Don't eat my dog.
Well, luckily we
I like
do
my
the
dog.
show remote, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll just turn into a zombie here in my studio and you know, just start
chilling.
wrecking my own shit. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
So
hopefully Todd will know better and he'll shoot me or stabilize me, right? Burlap sack it. We got this little trash can right here. It worked perfect, like one of those dog cones. Just put that over my head while you're transporting me. I mean, we'll be fine.
yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Our zombie
There you go.
scenarios.
That's how you handle that.
Yeah. So yeah. So good. I'm glad that you wouldn't shoot your friend. I wouldn't shoot you. But you know, I don't know. I'd try to do something find something. I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, I'd kind of be like freaked out. Like, man, I gotta go do something and then figure out what's going on. But yes, the COVID thing is no. I am not ending the meeting. The problem is when we have 3 people in the meeting, right?
Oh,
You
you
only
were telling
got
me
a
about this. I feel like I thought it
40-minute
had to be.
time
I
limit.
thought it was more than that. Though.
No. So yeah, it's but if you go back to 2 people, it's unlimited time.
Crazy. All right.
So if the person stays, here's the deal: tell your buddy to get off, right?
Right.
And then see if that worked where the time limit goes off, and then sign back in.
Okay.
So see if that happens.
All right. I assume you heard that.
Let me see if let's see if I can. Which one?
He's trying to learn how to use this.
We're all trying to do this live here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's figure this out.
Let's see. I can probably do this guy. Probably. Let's see. Boom. There you go.
What are you trying to do?
Who?
You.
Oh, I just put him in the waiting room, I think. Well, the time limit didn't go off.
No, yeah, he left.
Oh,
But no, yeah, the timer didn't go off.
so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. May I have to send you a different deal to come back in. So COVID-19. Well, we talked a lot about COVID-19.
Yeah, we did.
That was a
I mean, but that's what's going on. I mean,
yeah. It's everywhere.
sad to say, it's still going on this long.
I mean, do you really think that it's? I think it's gonna be done by 2020. You know, I think it's gonna be all completely, done, out of here, stuff like that. I think it's gonna be, we're gonna be back to normal.
I really don't know, man. And I feel like there's gonna be so many false positives with the flus and the allergies and stuff, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And this witch hunt that's gonna be going on. That's what I think. I think that it's gonna be still here, quote unquote, whether it is or not.
Okay. Like,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
mean like it's gonna be, small spots.
Not even that, like, because people are going to be misdiagnosing or just calling it this or that,
Right.
based on because I'm sniffling or whatever. I feel like people are going to be afraid of it into 2021, as if it's still around. Therefore, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's physically here or not, it's still here because we're still going to be wearing the masks. We're still going to be trying to do more of this delivery and buying our groceries. And people are taking this time now, this whole year now, to getting used to ordering their groceries ahead of time at Walmart or whatever, and going and doing the pickup.
And that's what I'm saying. It's
and
like
getting their food from DoorDash and Uber, and they're getting used to this way of life. And even once this is gone, they're going to be like, well, it's so much safer because dealing with people is, there's always this possibility of
Right.
germs and whatever. There always has been.
And that's what I'm saying with Uber. When Uber first started, right? People thought that this was like insane, and this is crazy.
Yeah, I still kind of do. I don't know
And-
that I'd ever be like an Uber
Right.
driver.
And then Uber Eats, when that started, the people thought the same thing. That it was going to be insane. Nobody would do it. But what all you just said just sort of hit the nail on the head. When you look at all this stuff and add this stuff up, it kind of goes hand in hand because with all this COVID thing going on, everybody being, bunked in and stuff like that, those stock margins have spiked. People order more, they do
Yep.
all this stuff like you said, and I think that was sort of, and again goes back to,
Yeah.
the litmus
Yeah.
test part of it, because look at where we're at now. Probably about 90% of the people now still order from like Uber Eats, like you said.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
Of
Of course they are. You got some stir crazy people that are out there in the actual facilities, in the brick and mortar restaurants and stuff like that. But they're only allowed to have X amount of capacity and stuff. And when you think about it, a typical person, I'll say 6 to 7 out of 10, just because I don't have real statistics, but are gonna look at that and be like, "That's kind of a hassle. Let's just order it."
Yeah. Yeah.
If I don't want to get there and have to wait because they're at their 12-person limit or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's insane because like when I've been to Chili's before, right? Got there, kind of early, about like 12ish or whatever, and then by like 1 o'clock, there's people waiting in line to get inside to go eat, and it's like every
Yeah.
other table,
Right. Yeah, you got to do like every other table or every second or third table
Yeah.
or whatever. They got to be X amount, whatever. What I love is, the meme that goes around or whatever, like, let's wear a mask to walk to our table and then take it off.
Yeah.
Because for real, like, to me, it's so stupid. This is so simple. Like, they shouldn't be, if the virus is still a thing and it's still around, quit opening up the brick and mortar places where people are eating and sharing utensils and okay, we washed it. Guess what? I worked at a restaurant before. Their dishwashing machine or whatever didn't work quite right. It didn't get hot enough to actually sanitize these
really?
dishes or anything like that.
Wow.
And we're dealing with a COVID crisis and stuff like that. And they're working with you got a guy back there making $8 an hour working with faulty equipment. You think he gives a shit whether so and so just ate over here has the lip herpes or whatever, and you're about to use the same fork? He
Yeah.
doesn't care. He doesn't even know. He's in the back. He's never even saw lip herpes. Walk in the door.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. We've always run these crazy risks by just even doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had a bad situation with that same particular restaurant.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, not particularly what you're talking about, the one that you were at, but another
Right.
one. And I think I'll probably tell that story next, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
to come
we got to
back from
figure
that.
out. We got 2 minute deadline here, but we still got 20 minutes to show. So
Yeah. So what we'll do
we
is
gotta figure this out. So maybe let's do a break.
yeah. So what we'll do is we'll do a break real quick, and then when we come back, I'll shoot you the credentials to get back in. when I
Yeah,
start
yeah.
the
Let's
meeting.
just
And then
disconnect this one entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same way we do the Tuesday show. So when we come back, I'm gonna tell. I don't know how funny it's going to be, but it's a story that kind of hits home for Matt. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a weird day or not, but we'll get into that next. And I'd hopefully like to hear from a couple different restaurant stories. Whoever's listening, 813-419-3602 is the phone number to call. Bulls Radio Lounge, YouTube.com. That's where you go to see this show. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
Mr. I don't need her. Now I think about her constantly though. If they made a machine, they could register how cold my heart was off the meter. Now that that time is gone, I remember her favorite song. In the spot in the middle of her back, she would laugh when I put my fingers on.
going to progress to some steps which are a bit more difficult. Ready, set, and begin.
You found me when I was young. Thought I'd be weak, but I was wrong. So unique, you made me strong. The fight inside me is what kept me going on. I don't know if you wanna be the one. It's me, son, she. I don't know if you wanna be the one. It's me, son, she. Look hard on me, look hard, 'cause your body is what I need. So walk with me, be a part of me, like I want you to be. Like karate, like karate, like karate, yeah. Mouth open wide. This technique keeps me alive. I want you to walk beside patterns and rhythm and our hearts in time. What? I don't know if you wanna be the one. It's me, son, she. I don't know if you wanna be the one. It's me, son, she. Look hard on me, like karate, 'cause your body is what I need. So walk with me, be a part of me, like I want you to be. Like karate, like karate, like karate, yeah. I can let go if you watch me, and I know that I want to. I can promise that I will take care and I'll protect you. Can't remember where it started, but I know where it will go. You can go where I go if you follow, follow.
Look hard on me, like karate, 'cause your body is what I need. So walk with me, be a part of me, like I want you to be. Like karate, look hard on me, like karate, 'cause your body is what I need. So walk with me, be a part of me, like I want you to be. Like karate, like karate, like karate, yeah.
You win. Perfect.
Bulls Radio Lounge, Social Reload Show, back in action. Thank you for listening. I don't know how long I have Matt for. Matt, how long do I have you for, my friend?
Let's try to wrap this up. We could do 10-15 more minutes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. I just want to make sure you're okay with that. I mean, that's,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm good with how long you want to do it, So, it's I try to do it in 2 hours if you want, but I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you feel like doing, my friend. So, however you
Well,
wanna
as
do
of
it.
right now, I can roll for 10-15 more minutes. We got anybody listening?
Probably not.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't
still
know. I
wanna
mean,
hear your
it's
story though.
I only see one person on the ticker, and that's probably me monitoring the whole thing. So, but you know what?
That's
I listen. I crack jokes about it, but I believe in the show. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
of
in the
course.
product, and that's why I wanted to have it on the show and on the airwaves. Don't forget about Bull and the Bartender show Tuesday night. This Tuesday, we're going to be live with the whole gang and back 8 o'clock on Tuesday. So, and then Belly's show, which normally airs in this time slot, is going to be on hiatus for a while because he's having neck surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going. I think he's like next week or something like that. He's gonna have that done. So hopefully, he'll make it through and
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
fine and all that stuff.
Best,
like that.
best
So
of luck to him, of course.
he's gonna have to be, I think, like a whole month or so, just in a neck brace.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So so we're starting up this show, the Social Reload Show, every Sunday at 9, right here on Bulls Radio Lounge, YouTube.com. Check out the Facebook page too. That's Bull Space Radio Lounge. It's hard to remember everything. You know.
Gotta plug it all.
Yeah. And then Twitter, I don't use very much, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I don't know. It's hard enough trying to take care of one thing.
You know what you and I should talk about off the air?
What's that?
I need to build you your one-stop shop website that's just going to house all this stuff for you.
That would be awesome, to be honest with you.
And then when you make a post or whatever to one thing, it'll
Yeah.
update your Twitter for you, so your Twitter people can see it and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We just need to get that stuff going. And
Yeah,
off
'cause
the air,
I'm-
we should talk about that.
I'm sort of lacking the social media type of game. You know what I mean? Because I'm not on it to I don't like some people post like their life or whatever like that, but it's hard for me to post and do what I have to do on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
I
I actually wrote a song about it.
Did
It
you
just
really?
released on Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
maybe I'll plug that later.
absolutely. I mean, we never talked about your gigs and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of things in the
Yeah.
works. But yeah, we just the I Need an Adult just dropped a new album on Halloween,
I
as
Need
we
a-
always do.
I need an adult, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All
Yeah.
right. How did you
yeah,
come
just
up with
dropped
that
it,
name?
I'm sorry.
How did you come up with that name?
Just kind of BSing. There's that line in Family Guy, where he's I want to say it was Stewie yells
Okay.
at some point that he needs an adult for some reason, and Low Cipher in the group did something that made me exclaim that I need an adult. And really, our group, the songs that we do are like cautionary tales, if you will. So it kind of
Cautionary
fit.
tales.
Cautionary tales, yeah.
What is
So
that?
tales of caution, like something like a story of things kind of going horribly wrong, so you can kind of learn from it, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe that, but cautionary tales that, and they're usually about mishaps of love and that kind of thing, as songs and things usually do. But we decided, like, thinking about it that way, it was the perfect name. I Need an Adult, because you need an adult. You need somebody to help you kind of work through these feelings and these things that are happening. So I don't know. It worked out perfectly. It started off. It was kind of a joke at first, and then ended up becoming a thing. And we've been around for a while. We've got a lot of CDs.
All right.
But every Halloween we drop one, and this Halloween was no exception. And there is a song on there that is literally about having nothing to say on these social media things, and it kind of causing you I don't know, anxiety, I suppose, at the fact that you can't kind of keep up with these other people that always seem to find something to say, but you can't really seem to
care
work
about
it out. So
Yeah.
and nor do you really want to. Like, I don't need you to know that I'm going to the dentist at 4 o'clock on Thursday or whatever, and it worked out awesome, and I love Dr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Canine
like,
Tooth or whatever his name is.
You know,
So,
it's crazy how just every people that I've seen on Facebook, it's like at any social media platform, they put everything out there. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to go walk my dog. Okay, well that's great. I don't care, you know.
Right.
I'm not paying attention to
Had a great walk. Took 3 pictures of flowers on the way.
Yeah, my
Little
dog
dog
crapped.
made a stinky.
Yeah.
Winky face.
You know-
Adorbs face.
You
whatever
know,
the hell,
they're
like-
they're taking pictures of the dog doing his business, and that dog's going, really? Come on, man.
Really? Come
Are
on,
you
man.
fucking kidding me? I mean, come on.
If
Can you-
only I had a thumb, I'd be taking a picture of you. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like, really, you can't give me some privacy. You're going to post it. I bet you, I was thinking about this earlier. I bet you animals in general, they have their own language, like their own little mindset, their own little talking, their own little body language.
Yeah, they
You know what I mean?
communicate for sure. Yeah.
And us as humans can understand that because we're thinking like humans.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you pick up on visual cues from like your dog and stuff, right? there.
Yeah,
Like you know
yeah.
when they need to go out.
But
They'll
I'm
start
saying, like,
they'll start pitter pattering at the
Right.
door or something like that. They'll start moving their feet. They'll start wagging their tail, looking at the door, and you're like, oh, they must want to go out. And then so they learn that that's a pattern. If I do this at the door, they're gonna let me out.
right. And what I'm saying is, like, I want to know what they're thinking about us.
Oh, I do too.
Like my
Oh.
dog, like I want to know what she's thinking about, like,
I do too.
what
All the
she's
time.
she's
All
like,
the time. I'm like, I wish you could just talk. Why
Yeah.
can't you just talk? Just talk. You heard me do it. Just do it.
it's like, is the dog thinking, oh great, this fat ass is home, and what's gonna happen now? You see what I mean? Or is
I
it
mean,
like,
I guess if I was an ass to my dog, but I mean, I know my dog loves to see me. She's super excited every time I walk in the door.
my dog's the same way. She'll like,
Yeah, but
rub
if
up
you're an
against me.
asshole to your dog, then yeah, it probably is cowering off in a corner somewhere.
No,
like,
I'm not an
"Oh,
asshole
what's
to
gonna
my dog.
happen
I'm
now?"
just saying, some dogs may think that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For sure.
just to
Or or the strays that are out there in the streets and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, they've definitely got a different attitude.
I mean, just to think like a whole different mindset for any insect creature.
Well, and I think you can see
know.
personality in animals too.
Oh,
Certain
yeah.
animals definitely stand out, more than others, right? I mean, they've got personalities.
It's like, what is the which one is the praying mantis? I think when they mate,
Yeah.
the female bites off the head of the male.
Right.
That's kind of gruesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, spiders do that too. A female spider eats
Do
the
they?
male.
Oh, I don't know. What would you do in that situation? Would you ever find a mate?
And then run. I think ideally that would be the plan, but I think that they accept it. They just know that that's the cycle.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that. I'd be the rogue guy.
Like, I'd be the rogue. I'd be like, nah, fuck this, man. I gotta go. I brought my own cab fare. I'm out of here.
Deuces on that one. So nah,
Well, I guess it's Uber now. I got my own Uber app.
yeah.
I'm out of here.
It's like this is the
People don't know what a cab is anymore. You mean Uber?
Uber? Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And and I see that there's cab companies that have Uber signs in their fucking windows and
Yeah,
stuff
I
too
see
now.
that too. I see it all the time. Those little LED things,
Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's hilarious.
They've got like 4 or 5 of them right there in the windshield.
Like that shows you how big of an impact Uber or things like Uber and stuff has had when these big companies that had the only, like, they were the only thing in
Yeah.
this space, you know what I mean? And now they're having to adopt this new thing.
All right. So going back to what I teased before, this I hope we have time to do this. So it was a restaurant that's sort of near and dear to Matt's heart, right?
I don't know if that's true, but I've got opinions.
So Chewy Rocks and I, we go to the restaurant, and they serve you at the table, and they put you at opposite of the table, which is normal, whatever. And then we get this God bless her soul, the waitress comes over and can't really hear her. And then we ask her, well, what's good to eat? What's on the menu? She has no idea what's on the menu. right?
Oh no,
And that's the most. To me, it's
that's
like
that's frustrating.
yeah, and I'm like, I see the menu, what's on there, but if I have a question about what's on the plate, and you kind
Yeah,
of don't
I
know.
want to be confident. I like to do this test too when I go to a restaurant. I like, what do you like?
Yeah,
You ever do that to them?
yeah. Like what?
If they start stuttering, then I'm like, I'll just have
Yeah,
some
like
water,
what is your
maybe.
opinion? What do you like? What's good on the menu?
Yeah, if they don't like anything, so you're not willing to eat back there.
Yeah, and
I probably shouldn't be eating here.
right, exactly. So, and it got frustrating because the I don't know what happened to the waitress, if she had got pulled somewhere or something like that, but there was no refills, but like once every 20, 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's like
Can I ask you, was this recent?
no, it was about a couple months ago.
So during all this COVID stuff,
Yeah, it was,
everything had just kind of reopened.
Yeah. So we went to Chewy Rocks, and I went to go try the restaurant that was once good in the past, and because they did have good food until they changed the entire menu. But I hate when they do that. You know that when they sit there and change the menu on something, like
Well,
the entire.
So I think that we have definitely like this level of comfortability of like typicality. Like we like what we like, and we want to go to a place and
Yeah.
have the same thing. I think that that's very true. And so when that gets disrupted, all of a sudden you're like, hey, hold on a second.
Right.
I don't know about this now, and it feels weird and it feels strange, and I think that's why we're creatures of habit too, and that we pretty much we go to the same places to eat all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you every once in a while you venture out and be like, let's try this new place, but then when it sucks, you're like, this is why we always eat wherever the fuck. And it perpetuates that cycle of we kind of only eat here.
Yeah, we're used to where we're at,
Yeah, and you always notice that there's like a good one and a bad one
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
of every of your likes. Like there's a
Right.
good one and a bad one. You don't go to the bad one as often unless you just kind of have to. It's usually the closer one too, right? The bad one is the
Yeah.
closer one,
Yep.
and you gotta deal with the fact that if I just want to go get something quick, I got to go to the bad one. But I could take the extra minute and go get the good one and actually enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, see, I had eaten at Sonny's years ago, right?
Right.
Down there in Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
and I had the roasted chicken, which I've never had before at Sonny's. I always get like the ribs or something like that,
I
or
always get like pulled pork.
pulled pork or whatever.
Mhm.
With a
Come on
salad.
now.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm hungry now.
So I got the chicken, and the guy that was the driver at the time, he got the chicken as well. Well, he
Okay.
got sick right after we
Oh
left.
yeah. Oh no.
And so then, because I asked him before we ate it, I'm like, man, does this it looks pink sort of inside of here, not like pink like undercooked pink, but pink like smoked, but still a little bit raw. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and he's like, no, it's fine. It's cool. Right? All right, cool. He's eaten there 1,000 times. No big deal. So I ate it. He ate it. He got sick about 30 or 40 minutes afterwards, right? I drove back to the shop, and the next day, bro, it felt like somebody hit me in the gut like 40 times,
Oh jeez.
just throwing up left and right,
Oh no.
So I didn't eat there for like 5 or 6 years, and the one here in Tampa was open and ate there, and it threw me off because there was a couple of hairs in the plates,
Oh come on, man.
Yeah, and just the food tastes real greasy, real
Yeah,
oily, real
I hate
nasty.
that.
But going back to the other one, so the lady had no idea what was on the menu, had no idea what would suggest or nothing like that. So we get through all that. We get the food, and the food is like, to me, is like lukewarm. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
not warm, but not like cold.
Right.
But Chewy
just
Rocks,
just kind of sit in that room almost.
yeah, but Chewy Rocks was like cold. Like real cold. Not like cold, but like cold, like lukewarm, basically.
Mm, yeah.
So, and then the waitress never came back, and then she just threw the check on the table, and it was just a bad experience all the way around. And I'm like, and every time the waitress would walk by, wouldn't even look or glance or see, and then help out any other table that was over there, and I'm like, wow, this is where we're at, and
This is what's going on.
restaurant service. So, I mean, it was, maybe I'm telling it very horribly wrong, so it doesn't really sound funny, but but it was just a bad experience, and I wasn't too thrilled with that particular restaurant. Should I say what it is?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can't even comment. Like, it's just it's I'm opinionated of it because of various things like that.
Yeah.
Is all I can really say about it without getting too specific.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
You know what I
It's-
mean? Like, it was just it wasn't quality.
no. But I'll tell you what, I won't.
It wasn't quality to work for either.
Right.
Like, in the background, it wasn't working either. So
Right.
it's just and I feel like that's just you saw the reflection of the third party
Yeah.
of that. You know what I
Right,
mean? Of
right.
it kind of falling apart.
Yeah. I got you. But yeah, I will. Chewy Rocks and I will probably never eat there again, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So-
and I don't blame you. And likewise.
But
But to be fair, I hadn't in a long time.
really?
Even working there.
oh wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Just because
And
you didn't
if I
like
did
it?
it was something that you would never see on the menu. It was just something that I would make, and it would always be like done my way. Let's just say that.
Or were you, if I may ask the question, and please stop me, but were you the chief in charge? At,
Yeah.
At that
Yeah.
that particular place?
Well, for the cooks and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. You told everyone what to do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, there was still a lot of red tape. And that's what I mean by
Okay. Red
the
tape.
system itself was failing, and it's affecting you, the customer, and the customer
Yeah.
gets to see it whether they think they do or not, and they do in the ways that you just described it, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
You know,
because I mean,
it falling apart.
They didn't ask. Usually, all right. Here's my thing with customer service. If you've got good customer service, then the person who is your waiter or your waitress, right, is going to sit there and go, probably I would probably say every 10 minutes or so, hey, do you need another refill? Hey, let me get this.
Well, and especially
know,
at that time too, because you know
yeah.
it wasn't busy by any means.
No,
I'm
it was
sure.
like 12 o'clock ish, I think. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I mean, if it's if it was like right when everything was opening back up for COVID, they weren't allowing a whole lot of people in restaurants yet. So I mean,
Right.
Even at its busiest, they were getting by with one or two serve staff.
You're right, exactly.
Typically one, and I mean that might have been cumbersome to deal with 12 tables as one person at a time. But was that the situation?
No, well, she only had I think maybe one or two, maybe three that she was dealing with ours as well. You know what I mean?
Okay,
But she
so I
would
mean,
just-
yeah, I mean that's
she-
not a lot, and
No.
if she just couldn't hack it, then. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
I
it was
think-
that early, I know exactly who it was because there was only one person that they allowed back that early, and that's not of her character, so I assume that something.
Well, it
was
wasn't-
wrong
it
or
wasn't your
something, I don't know,
restaurant.
but
It wasn't where you were at.
oh no,
No.
just that particular franchise.
It was the one on Hillsborough.
Oh yeah, well that the same company owns that one, so yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's
so-
I mean that's literally the system falling apart.
Okay.
The whole thing.
But
It's just-
she
it's
would
just
actually
going down.
have to walk by.
There's an investment group that owns all
Oh,
of these
Okay.
particular ones in the
Right.
areas.
She would actually literally have to walk by our table to go to the other table she was serving as well. So that's the thing. She would walk by and we sort of, hey, she'd just walk by and stuff like that. So, and that's my thing. It's like, all right, if you're dealing with customer service, you're a waiter or waitress. For me, I'd probably want to check and I've never been one before, but I'd
Right.
want to check every, 10 minutes or so, I think. Is that a pretty good time to check on drinks, or is it like 5 minutes?
I mean, well, it really depends. And this is something that we've in the bigger cities and stuff like that have like kind of hyped up or whatever. Like, because if you go into like the smaller towns and stuff like that, people expect to sit there for a long time
Right.
and not and bullshit for a while, and it might take you, you know, a couple hours to get through lunch or whatever, and they like it that way. Everything's moving a little slower and stuff. But we're in these big hustle and bustle kind of cities and stuff, and yet, I mean, the etiquette's a little different, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can say 5-10 minutes. You just, I don't know if there's a particular time, but you know it when you know it. You should
Yeah.
definitely be,
Checking.
yeah, kind of doing your rounds. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Checking to see.
And yeah, and just showing some attention. And I feel like maybe they've gotten jaded and are thinking like, well, it's just kind of affecting my tip, and I don't really care about this particular table in that sense. I've got my tips for the day, whatever. I don't know what your attitude might be, but I'm just throwing some
Right.
variables out.
Do they really do that? Do they really, like, if you get a bad tip, or if they judge you on how much you think they're going to be tipped?
Yeah, people
Really?
judge people.
I mean, is that how they do it? So, like if I walk in and they see me and they go, huh, this guy's probably not going to tip very much, or, you know, or whatever the case may be.
Whatever the case may be, sure.
So
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
choose.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and but you have to understand too, these are people that have seen hundreds of people, so they've kind of put it to the test. You know,
Yeah.
thousands of people even. They put it to the test. There's a stereotype for a reason, and it's because it's happened very frequently to them.
Man, I would like to.
When you compare it with waitress B
Right.
and waitress C, and they all have the same stereotype, then you can pretty much kind of say, you know what, this type of person does this more frequently than the other type of person.
We'd have to break that down.
And yeah, they talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'd have to break that down for one night, you know, and you know how that inner circle works.
I don't know that I can. That's a
Oh,
trade
really?
secret. That's a trade secret.
Oh man, come on.
I don't know. I'm not in that game anymore, so you know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll talk.
you're
about it. I
not.
don't
You
know.
didn't sign no confidentiality contract, did you?
It's very. It gets kind of racist. So
Does
I
it
don't know, I
really?
don't know. It's kind of it's borderline rough
Man,
to talk about. I would say.
they even have racism in a underlying circle of waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, like are you
How does that
surprised?
work?
You know?
Yeah, I've never done it, so I'm like, you know, it's like I never knew there was like an inner sanctum. You know,
Of course, every job's got it.
Well,
I'm sure in your other, you know, ventures that you've got these cliques and inner circles and rumors and, you know, things that go on.
yeah, they think that I'm number one,
Well, you are, man.
and they're scared.
Good.
No, it's not good.
That's awesome. No, yeah, ride that wave.
It's because of the barcode. That's why.
I know. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's what I've been told. They're
Of
like-
course, you look like
they're-
Hitman.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I never knew there was an inner circle of
Oh, of course.
waiters and waitresses. That's too funny.
Of course.
That's
man.
that we'd have to discuss that next week.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we will. We'll have to do it off air first, just to see if it's PC enough. Because I know it doesn't have to be completely PC because we're not being
I
watched
mean,
or whatever. But
would it? What
we
would
should
be?
still, you know what I mean, run it by the lawyers or whatever. You know what I mean?
What?
You know what I mean?
What-
Because it gets kind of dicey.
Yeah. What could we touch? What? Okay. On the surface, right now, what could we touch base on, and what couldn't we touch base on?
Yeah, right. Yeah, just
What? Let me ask you that. What could we do? What was A and B? Like A, what could we touch base on, and B, what can we not talk about?
on the air.
Yeah.
Well, if I mention what we can't talk about on the air, we're doing it on the air. We're on the air right now.
I mean,
that
like,
doesn't work.
I don't know.
Well-
I'm saying, like, is there something like really bad that we could not talk about on the air, or is it just sort of?
You want me to give you generalities?
Yeah.
Stuff that I wouldn't be okay with?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
No, I'm okay with a lot. My worry is for the channel.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Because have you not noticed how sensitive this country is right now?
Yeah, I mean, but
And
still,
and the people that you just want you want to poke the bear. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
if you
it-
want listeners,
it
like
can
you're gonna definitely gonna get a certain type of listener if you're poking at the bear. I mean, yeah, but you won't you're gonna become one sided. You're gonna become no longer objective. I feel like
not really because it's coming from you. So I'd sit there and go, hey, look,
Yeah, he's just like I don't know that guy. like we started the show off with. Well, the guy that co-started the I think he was there briefly. I don't really remember him.
no, I would be like, hey, so Matt, how does the inner circle work? What is the dealings with? Is there like a secret handshake? Do you have to go through? I mean, what?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's all kinds. There's a blood ritual that happens.
And then I'd be like, well, what is? How do you know? What is your feelings about all this? How do you know all this? I mean, how deep does the rabbit hole go?
I mean, if I could show you the grease burns and explain how those relate, to the universe, but you'd either have to become one of us or I'd have to kill you if we went that far.
I mean, seriously, is that how? Is it really that?
No,
secretive?
I mean, there's no like Illuminati thing happening in the kitchen or whatever. But there's definitely opinions, and there's definitely cliques, and there's definitely this and that. Absolutely.
Was there waiters or waitresses that were mad at you at one point?
Mad at me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like what would they say? What was their sort of reaction when they see you?
Oh, typically great. I would get hugged a lot.
Okay. But in the back of their mind they're like, this son of a bitch.
No. Typically I was loved.
Oh, okay. I thought you said they hated you.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, nobody hated me.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely there was definitely moments of like I'm mad at him.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys sing Kumbaya afterwards and just sort of
Yeah, you kiss and make up and go smoke a joint or whatever. And
just sort of hang out.
Kiss and make up, just whatever.
What do you say, like a Netflix and chill?
No, we ain't Netflixing and chilling. we would hang out on the patio and get drunk and smoke and sometimes drop acid and stuff and just wait for the daytime to go to sleep and then do it all again the next day.
You were the man, weren't you?
Yeah, well, of course.
Well, this rabbit hole goes deep, doesn't it?
What's that?
This rabbit hole goes deep, doesn't it?
I mean, it could go as deep as you want.
I mean, no. I mean, it's your stories. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I have no idea what happened.
But see, to me, this stuff is normal. To you, you're like, holy cow! Look at what we're getting into.
Yeah,
Look
because
at the deep
then
and dark side of the whatever. To me, it's all normal.
Because it's like I'm gonna sit there and think, and I'm like, oh man, is this person judging me? Is this person thinking that I'm nuts? Am I insane?
No, who? Why?
I don't know.
Who would be thinking that?
No, I'm saying I would, because if you have these stories of how the waiters and waitresses sort of judge people of tips and stuff like that, I'm like, well, if you suck, then you suck,
Yeah, well, for sure, and there is that too. I mean, sometimes you're just not cut out for it. I mean, a server's got to be an actor, and has got to be a salesman, and has got to be polite and customer service oriented. Like they've got a lot going on there. And if they can handle all that well and then do that across multiple tables, you got a winner there. But it's more rough than people think, I would say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I don't want to do it.
I wouldn't have the patience, I don't think.
I did it briefly when I was young. I want to say in like high school or just getting out of high school or whatever. I did it briefly and it was fine, I suppose, but I just knew inside this is not me. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. My patience.
I could cook like a son of a bitch though.
Yeah.
So that was fine. I just put myself in the back and stayed there for a while.
Could you make most of the stuff by memory at your house?
Oh, everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I always cook by from memory, or just come up with it or whatever, But yeah,
Man, maybe if you could cook up what we had and see if it was the same thing, because ours tasted like crap. To be honest.
well, if you were getting, I mean, there's definitely off air because I don't want to give anything away, but there's definitely some clear things to steer clear of, and I will definitely let you know. But if you're not going to eat there again, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
You know the one.
And you can't let it sour you of the franchise in general, because it's just the 10 of them that are local to this area are all owned by the same investment company, and
Yeah.
those ones are the ones cutting these corners and falling apart,
Okay.
not the actual name itself.
Right.
It's that is fine elsewhere.
Uh,
If you go elsewhere, you're still going to find good ones, and they're still doing it right and whatever. It's just there's franchise holders that aren't maybe necessarily doing their job quite right, or trying to earn more profits in places that they should maybe reevaluate.
of course, yeah, because it's all about the dollar. That's all it is.
For them it is, because
Yeah.
they're an investment group.
Right.
They're not even restaurateurs. They're not anything like that. They're people that have invested money trying to make money for them.
Very
And
good.
so when they look at it, it's just it's a chart of numbers, and they're not thinking about, like, they're like, okay, well, we can cut cost here, and almost without even saying it, and they're saying, screw the customer, screw the end product.
Right.
This is going to make us a few more bucks or whatever.
I got you.
Judge, because here's the chart that says we can increase our profits by 100% or 150% if we cut the cost here, and this is not good, because it's hurting the brand,
Right. And it's
which
hurting the
is
product too.
they're supposed to be upholding, of course.
Yeah.
And whatever. So
let me ask you
all
this.
that prism of effect.
Real quick, and I thank you for extending your time, your very
Yeah, man.
precious time. I mean, you're a tough guy your time is very precious.
I appreciate that.
So we have to do things the way you need to do them and get them done. But-
That's right. I
Well,
guess you're right.
what was and I'm always curious about this, and I don't know why, but what was your worst night basically at a said place?
At said place.
Yeah. Like your worst night ever, like everything and everything went wrong.
That happened way more frequently than you'd think. man.
Really?
Oh yeah, that happened a lot, and it's a trickle down thing, because it starts in the morning. If somebody doesn't show up or somebody doesn't do their job, it's
Yeah.
gonna trickle
Okay.
down to the people that are coming in to cook that stuff that was supposed to be prepped that didn't get prepped. That now they've got to try to prep and cook on the line at the same time. So effectively using the things that they're prepping, having to kind of double prep in this at this point now, which is of course eating time and eating resources,
Right.
and causing a bad product for the customer, because it's taking more time to get out, because, oh crap, I don't even have that prepped yet, because person didn't come in to do prep. So let me run and prep that real quick on the fly, and that took 10 minutes to do or whatever. So now
Right.
you've already been waiting 10, now you just added another 10. So this trickle just keeps kind of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's more like, I guess, like a snowball then.
Wow.
Because it just kind of goes from a snowflake and just kind of gets it into a snowball and turns into an avalanche.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
that this happens a lot, and
Did you have
it's
a-
bad management, it's bad planning, it's bad work ethic. It's you know what I mean. And you got so many variables in the fact of different workers
Yeah.
and different work ethic, have different cares, have different whatever ways of reading a prep sheet. Like, oh, they said make 4, but I'm only going to make 2. They only need 2, and then come to find out, oh, the manager did actually know what they were talking about, and they should have made 4.
Did you have a
whatever,
good night?
you know what I mean? Whatever the case is. So, yeah, this happens all the time. I don't want to say that, but I almost said it was going to be a dead giveaway, and really a bad look on my part. So I don't want
No,
to
it's
finish that
cool.
sentence. But just know that there are things that could be done, could be changed, and whatever. But it would cost money, and these investors are not looking at spending money
Yeah, and fixing things.
and fixing things. They're trying to look for the quick buck, it looks like, and maybe trying to sell and get the hell out of there because they
gotcha.
don't see it as a viable thing because they're killing it. You know what I
Right.
mean? They themselves are effectively
Killing the bottom line.
destroying the thing that should have been a cash cow.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
No problem, brother.
Let's do this. Let's end the show. We've come to an end. We've done, I think, 2 hours and 28 minutes so far.
Nice.
Not bad for a first show.
Yeah, right. Killing it.
Matt, I do appreciate it. Thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, no problem, Bill.
Thank you for doing the show. Thank you for allowing to venture in and doing 2 hours and so with me as well.
Yeah, no problem. Let's do it again next Sunday.
Absolutely. We'll be perhaps a little bit more. Like I said, this is sort of a show that we talk about just social media and news and stuff like that. Then get your thoughts and opinions. Just whatever you want to talk about. If you want to call in and just talk about whatever, we'll talk about whatever.
Yeah, the social reload. Let's all bullshit. That's all bullshit, and we'll see what we think about stuff.
We'll reload social media. There you go.
Whatever. Yeah, we reload social media.
The Social Reload Show. Thank you for joining us. Join us next week, 9 p.m., only on Bulls Radio Lounge. Matt, the savior of the Bulls Radio Lounge, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I am Bull. Join us next week. Don't forget Tuesday at 8 p.m., Bull and the Bartender Show. We're going to be talking about possibly going to live video.
Oh.
Don't know about that one yet, but
right.
Yeah.
You're always against that.
All right, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, see you later.
Tell me what you're looking for anyways. Did you find it? Are you certain? Are you certain it's the real thing? Are you sitting at your window while he's sleeping? Pulling back the curtain, looking for the moon. That's me smiling at you. If you're lost high up in the mountain tops, I'll leave a light.